It takes courage to accept and take action to heal the psychological wounds. It takes even greater courage to resolve and heal the wounds that someone else caused you. Parenting is not as easy, although it should be. There are so many things that parents do that cause chronic traumas to their kids. You may be doing something that you think, oh, haelewi, oh, mtoto wangu haelewi. The child is too young to understand exactly what is happening, yes. But the mind always keeps a track. The mind always keeps the traces of what is happening. That child is going to carry those experiences with him or her. And when he grows old, when he gets old enough to understand exactly what was happening, they will come after you. As a parent, you want to make sure that you are not doing things that are putting the psychological or mental health of your child at risk. I have a list of few things that parents are doing that are putting the mental health of their kids at risk. Number one, we have parents who are having sex, enjoying their conjugal rights in marriage in the presence of their kids, thinking this one is just 7 years old. He doesn't understand what we are doing. This one is just 5 years old. He has no idea what is happening here. But let me shock you. One morning, a young girl, 5 years old, is telling a story. Anasema hivi, babagu akifika nyumbani, huwa anatoa trouser yake. Anatoa kitu yake, anapatia mamangu, anamweka kwa mdomo, anamwambia anyonye. And then after hapo, wanaenda kwa bedroom, babagu anaenda juu ya mamangu, anamrukarukia, mamangu anatoa sauti zingine, ni kama ni kupigwa anapigwa. That was a 5-year-old narrating the story of what they see. Those memories are going to stick in the mind of that child until the day they are going to actually know what the parents were doing. And today you are wondering, why is my son no longer listening to me? Why is my daughter engaging and involving into irresponsible sexual behaviors? It's simply because your daughter has learned from the best watching you and your husband have sex. Your son has learned from the best watching you and your wife having sex. Very dangerous. Make sure that as a parent, when you are enjoying your conjugal rights, you are doing it in closed doors. Even if you think the child is sleeping, nani amekwambia? Amefungua tu macho kwa blanketi, anawachungulia. Make sure that your child is not watching. Number 2, domestic violence is another most dangerous thing that as a parent you can do in the presence of a child. Domestic violence can come in the form of physical abuse, emotional abuse, and even verbal abuse. Not forgetting sexual abuse. Your sons and your daughters should never witness you angry to a point of hitting, abusing their mother or their father. Be very careful, because those scenes, those violent scenes are going to stick into the mind of that child. The possibility of that child becoming an abuser themselves is very high. Number 3, drug abuse. You are a father. You call yourself responsible, but you are not. Simply because you come home drunk asking the kids, mama yenu anawaambiaga huku ni kwa nani? Mama yenu anasemaga mimi ni nani? And at that particular time, you have abused the family finances. Those kids are watching. They are keeping a track record of the things that you are doing. The night you come home drunk, making noise, they can't sleep. They are recording that. The night you come home drunk, dead drunk, you find food in the kitchen. It's boiling. And then you kick the food, you pour it in the dustbin, they sleep hungry. They are keeping a record. And when you are old, you start saying, watoto wangu walinichukia, huwa hawakuji kunitembelea. You did this to yourself. You showed them who you are. And so they treat you exactly the way you treated them when they were young. Make sure that you are not abusing drugs in the presence of your child. The last most important point that I want to give you, the most important thing that I want to say to you as a parent, become a role model to your sons and your daughters. They don't learn by doing what you tell them to do. They learn by doing what they see you do. Because it is man can see, man can do. Be a good role model. Let them learn the best behaviors from you. Simply because asiyefunzwa na mamae hufunzwa na ulimwengu. If the world is going to teach them, you will regret the kind of skills, the kind of behaviors that the world is going to teach them. You have the opportunity. Why not take it? Teach your kids the right ways. And when they grow old, when they grow up, they'll never depart from those ways. I'm not asking you to quit your job to spend time with your sons and daughters. I'm just saying, when you get home, just spend the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes with them so that they can know that dad is busy because he has to pay bills, but either way, he is there for us. He's always finding time to laugh with us. He's always finding time to tickle us. They should learn that you love them. Don't tell them that I love you, my son, I love you, my daughter, but you are never there to show that. Those are empty words. I'm leaving. I want to remind you that the kind of an impact that you're having on your sons and your daughters is not only going to impact their lives, but even to the generations that are going to come from them. If you want to leave a legacy of being there for your kids. The most important thing that you can give your sons and your daughters is your presence. Be there for them. They need you. Live a good life, and they will live a good life. Why don't you subscribe? And I'll see you aloud. I mean, I'll be back. I will be back.